And it ain't nothing I can say. It's nothing I can say to make you believe. To make you believe. Keep hearing footsteps in the dark, and my dogs gon' bite while the rest of y'all barking. Moving at the speed of light while y'all parking. In that water with sharks, I ain't scared, I'm a dolphin. It ain't no talking, but we all action. Trying to build a nation, but them hoes is distracting. With that talking on the pole and the back bins. Put on some clothes, set some goals, we can rap then. And we ain't never been the same since the crack came. Selling poison just to give it to the Jack name. They promote the lifestyle through the rap game. Flood the hood with it, then tell you it's a black thing. They really need God, but they call idols. How these jets 14 with assault rifles? They waiting for better days, like can I paraphrase? Niggas will kill their own brother for a pair of J's. And it ain't nothing I can say. It's nothing I can say to make you believe. To make you believe. Let me say it anyway.
Yeah. Let's clap it up, y'all. Clap it up. Isupkbmore. About to get it in out in Baltimore, Maryland, man. And we gonna kick it right off. We gonna kick it right off. Because for real, Esau, who is our oppressor, the white man, a lot of us don't believe that, but he keeps his society in order and in line with violence and the threat of violence. We're going to go into that today, and we're going to find out how all of this is going to end for him, man. We're going to find out how all of this is going to end for the oppressor, because as soon as I saw a lot of these activities happening, I went looking around in Obadiah. I went fishing around and checking out Obadiah, man. And it's some real telling scriptures in there. We gonna bang that out. But first, we gotta get that video of these oppressors marching on the Capitol with nooses and swastikas and Confederate flags in their hands. You understand? Outrageous, man, but check this out. There's a big difference between them and us and in the way we act. Look, the white man can walk up into any state building armed with an AR-16 in one hand, a noose in the other hand, because that's their culture and their society. You understand? Let me hold my black bag there. Let me try to get you started.
This one, sir.
Come. I think my tablet in there. So you're gonna do Hold on for 1 second, Israel. Hold on for 1 second. Get the brother straightened out. He want to take his test real quick. He's supposed to be here. No sweats.
Good.
No sweats. Yeah, the officer in the UPK is discipline, skill. Let me get that for you. It is in. Yeah. Hold on for 1 second, Israel. 1 second. No. Regular class. Officer's test. There you go. There you go. Get that to the bro. All right, Israel. All right, go ahead and get you, grab your 2 pieces of paper. Go ahead and get started. You know, you remember the password, right?
Come, sir.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, Alizar, let's get that video, man. With no further ado, goddamn, let's get that put that video up there so everybody can see what's going on down in here, man. And we got to point out this coon. We got to point that out.
Okay.
You got to point out the conservative coon that even in these days and times, when you got the people that you with, you a black man, the people that you with is going to the Capitol building with nooses and swastikas. These nooses are symbols of their kingdom, symbols of death, exploitation, barbarism. They hung us, burned us, cut our genitals off. These are all symbols of that. The symbol of their nation is unconditional surrender, meaning you have to be available for exploitation. They destroyed us in totality, and that's what that noose actually symbolizes. We gotta see this video. Play the video.
Okay.
Play the video, brother. Good night.
Brother, can I add one thing to that?
We don't get to work. You don't get to work.
Our community is struggling. My husband is on unemployment for the first time in our life. And it's unwillingly that we're taking unemployment. We want to go back to work.
Time for our state to be opened up. We're tired of not being able to buy the things that we need, go to the hairdressers, get our hair done. It's time to open up.
We're ready to stand defiant against this governor and open up business tomorrow.
I know that people are angry, and that's okay. And if you want to take it out and send it my way, makes you feel better, that's fine. We know that this rally endangered people. When people gather that way without masks, they were in close proximity, they were touching one another, that's how COVID-19 spreads. And so the sad irony here is that the protest was that they don't like being in this stay-home order. And they may have just created a need to lengthen it, which is something that we're trying to avoid at all costs.
Do you see the one when they was inside the State House that I played earlier with the brother on there?
Might be this person.
Hey man, you might have to go back. Hold on for 1 second.
come up with this number of 6 feet? I think they just pulled it out of their rear
That's it.
ends.
70 Michigan people have died so far this year from COVID-19.
That's it. That's the coon.
Close enough. All right, good.
Oh, yay.
Just take, hey, give me an A.
Here.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
That is the coon. All right, Andy, put the class back on. That is the coon. That is the coon. Give me that coon's name. What is his name?
David Clark.
David Clark. David Clark was the sheriff of a conservative state, and I'll get that information in a second. Where was it? Milwaukee. Milwaukee. He was the sheriff in Milwaukee. A lot of controversy swirling around that sheriff because it was black folks, a black pregnant woman that died in his custody in his jail. Now, even this conservative clown coon has to be smart enough to see that these people that he down there speaking with that then broke in the damn courthouse had nooses, AR-16s, swastikas, Confederate flags, and he's at the rally speaking. The token coon. They're there with the noose to say that you are their property. And the whole goddamn march and demonstration was about opening back up the economy. They want their slaves back. Oh, you thought you was a skilled worker or an essential worker. That's another way of saying slave. Because if one of your oppressors is doing the same job as you, and these statistics, we can put these statistics right online. You're making 13 cents on the dollar that he's making. That's why they never want anybody to know what anybody else is making for that particular reason. This is what we need to know, man. Our leaders, the people who stand up in front and run their mouth and do all the talking are high-priced hoes. Not even high-priced. They are back alley hoes that will bend over for a buck, man. They have no integrity and no character, man. They're cowards. Sheriff Clark is a coward. These people show up with nooses. These are the devices that they use to terrorize. The devices that they use today to terrorize. They're showing up with AR-15s on one shoulder, a noose in one hand, and a swastika in the other hand. What are they saying? They're there to say, to protest, to say, open the country, but what are they saying? The noose is about the barbarism and exploitation and murder of black people. That's what the symbol is for. Why are they bringing that symbol? Because they view us as a possession. You need to open this economy so we can continue to exploit and live the delicious way we've been living for years. White people not starving, man. Them people not starving, man. Sell one of your guns. Do that. Do that. You're starving, you're not hurting, and you're not starving. But you don't want to lose a dime. A dime. You want your restaurants open, your bars open. You want the jails open back up to full capacity so the stock market can get the revving again. and all that money can get the flowing. See, they've created a business model that's like a conveyor belt. And if one part of that conveyor belt stops, it jams up the whole goddamn economy. Jams everything up. That's why they want it rocking, brother. They'd rather die. They'd rather die of the coronavirus. They didn't care. They wasn't in there wearing no mask, man. They bombarded that Capitol building, man, with no mask, but they had their guns. They had their devices of terror. That was terrorism. Right in front of your face, black. And they had a black man, Sheriff Clark, up there speaking during the rally, saying that we gonna hang niggas. That's exactly what the noose is for. Salakia. Oh man, I got give me Isaiah. Give me Isaiah 26 and 20, brother. Isaiah 26 and 20. Because what's happening is not unknown in this Bible. These are things that happened when they invaded our land in Israel, took us captive, stood over us, watched us as we were defeated and destroyed and raped and put into slavery and made to serve and made to suffer. And then they did it again in the Americas. Put us in slavery, made us to suffer, and they refined it, brother. I mean, here in America, it went beyond oppression. Don't let these heathens tell you that, oh, everybody had a piece of slavery. Everybody went into slavery at some point. Indentured servitude is a big difference from what we suffered here in America, man.
Right.
Don't let nobody take your past, because what they're doing is taking your future. You think you can let the past go. No, you're letting the future go.
Okay.
Because what are they doing? They're back on the steps of the state buildings with nooses. What in America supposed to have defeated the bad white people? They're back with their flags. Their flags of their defeated nation with power and guns and numbers and violence and the threat of violence. And they're carrying that violence out. They just lynched the brother in broad daylight, rolled down on him in 2 pickup trucks and murdered him. Right. And if you listen to General Yohana, you would know, and it wouldn't be a surprise to you. They're not carrying those nooses as a show. These are tokens of their violence. And they mean to carry out that violence. Come on, man. Let's get this scripture. Get this scripture. Come on, man. Come on, we had it's Isaiah 26 and 20.
This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as if it were for a little moment.
Hide thyself for a little moment. Black man, don't go out here going to these bars and going to these bowling alleys and igniting the economy of white America. White America has nothing for us but violence. They can open it up all they want to. This is our chance, right? Look, the Most High put a chink in that conveyor belt. In a day, he shut it down. The Most High sent that coronavirus.
Right.
How could we ask for anything more? It shook his economy to a halt and barely even affected us. Yes, we were affected and dying from it, which lets you know that we are the slaves in this place. Which lets you know that we're not getting the proper health care we need. That lets you know that we under so much stress that our damn vital organs are breaking down. We have the strongest immune system on the earth, black people. The strongest organs. Our organs are sought after. Our melanin is worth more than gold. But why are we weakened? Because we're enslaved in this place, man. We can't take days off. We can't be off, or we don't get paid. We got to pay that gas and electric, that child support, or we go to jail. We got to keep it moving at all times. The Lord gave us rest.
Right.
He gave us rest from this merciless beast, man. This unrelenting animal. He gave us rest. Read on, brother.
Until the indignation be overpassed.
Until the indignation be overpassed. Don't go out there trying to jump back in the fray with your oppressor and end up getting caught up. Wait till the indignation pass. You wait. If you got to go to work, you an essential worker, which most of us are, you go to work and you come home. Don't stay at no damn bar, man. Don't go down Hooters to no damn strip club. Don't do it. Brother, go home. Because the Most High shut this down. It's going to open when He says it's going to open. Not when your oppressor says it's going to open.
Damn right.
I would be weary, man. Read on.
Verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish.
The Lord cometh out from his place to punish. From his resting spot, man. The Lord got to come down here and deal with the dilly, man. And he's dealing with, and look, you better do what the Lord say do, man. Because he's in this. He's all over this. This is the Lord. Look, you can look in the Bible and see where he sends evil angels, man. To deal with people. To deal with cheating. I would suggest that we do a self-quarantine, a self-segregation from the economy of America. We put so much into the economy, our lives, our health, our faith. We put it all into America. Let's put our faith in the Most High. And that he's doing this for a reason. He's showing us what we could have never seen before. Even a coon like David Clark got to be able to see what that noose and that swastika means, man. They're not there to murder the goddamn governor. They're saying if you don't do what we say, we're going to do violence to the slaves. We're going to do violence to them because that's our culture. That's how we built this empire. Let's tell the truth, man. This empire was built off of barbarism. It wasn't built from smart people who had business sense and were able to build great businesses and corporations. No, it was built off of violence. There was no feeling or melancholy or indecision when it came to murdering us and dealing dirty with us. It was never any indecision about it. We're going to read it in the Bible. David Clark. Damn! Damn! You got people around you with AR-15s and nooses and you gonna speak at a damn rap. If I didn't show it to you, you wouldn't believe. If I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe. Are you serious? Even in your coonish mind, you would have to think, well, why they got nooses? If we out here talking about patriotism of America, why would they have Confederate flags? The Confederates were an enemy to America. They murdered millions of Americans. Why do they have nooses? This is a terror weapon where they hung my people and cut off their genitals, pickled their penises with a bit of whiskey and put it on their mantle. Damn! Read on, brother.
Come on. Let's start from the top, huh?
Tell
This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity.
For their iniquity. For their iniquity. The oppressor, his society, his culture is all built on violence and exploitation to this day. The convict leasing program is the same as mass incarceration in privatized prisons. Nothing changed. Criminalizing the people, making different laws for them than the laws for yourself. And we clearly see that in the video we just witnessed. You just witnessed it with your own goddamn eyes. Do you want to see a modern day lynching? Is that what you want? Do I have to show you that to open your goddamn eyes to what's going on here, man? The iniquity means sin. And in this place, good night. It's gone beyond sin, brother. We talking about child porn. We talking about bestiality, necrophilia. It's gone to something sick. And Negroes, you want to be a part of it. It's sick. Look, you want to rap about it, call in. Call in. The number right there on the screen, right beneath me. 720-835-5244. And then use the PIN number 61189 and then the number sign or the pound sign. Click on that Uber conference, see if anybody in there.
Come.
That's how you'll see if they in there, and then you can unmute them. Somebody give me a call and let's rap about this, man. Especially if you feel that you have equality in America. Give me a call and let me know how you feel that you have equality in America. Let's finish that scripture real quick and we can move on.
The earth also shall disclose her blood.
Good night. The earth shall disclose her blood. Come on, man. Look at here. I'm gonna just name one place. There's a millions or billions of places I could name. Since it's in that state, let's talk about Natchez, Mississippi. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Devil's Punch Bowl. Hell of a name, man. The Devil's Punch Bowl. Was this in ditch by the river where they built a fort. And in this fort, they put black women and children. This wasn't the Confederate Army. You understand? This was the North. This wasn't the South. They put black children and women. They sent the men to do hard labor in the chain gangs while they had this fort in Natchez. called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And you know what they did? They starved the children and the women. And when the women begged for them to bury their children, take their children out of this fort and bury them, they threw the shovels over the wall and said, bury them where they lay. This is the cruelty of the oppressor that you under, man. And you wonder why he don't give a damn about carrying nooses? That would offend you? Like, black people actually think these oppressors supposed to care about offending them.
God.
They carry their AR-16s, their nooses, their swastikas, and dared you to say something about it. And when a black woman walked past, they touted her, saying, you don't belong here. This country ain't for you. And he's right. He's right. We think that fighting for some type of citizenship or equality gives us purpose. How can you fight for a thing that could never be? Equality is a pipe dream. What does equality even look like? What does it mean to have equal rights with your oppressor? And why would he ever give you equal rights? When they have on the books right now a law, and I'm gonna get that law. Oh, it slipped my mind just now. Where's the law? I'm gonna get that for you in a few minutes, but I'm gonna finish off Natchez. The Natchez, Mississippi, that Devil's Punch Bowl. Even today, nobody will touch that land because it's been so marked with barbarism and blood. Peaches the size of watermelon grow down in that bowl, man, by that river. Nobody eats them because they know what fertilize them, man. And look here, every time that river overflows, the bones of them babies come up, man. Come up out the ground, down river, and litter their perfectly manicured lawns. A lot of times they call the cops thinking it was a murder mystery. It was a murder mystery.
Okay.
You murdered 30 to 50,000 black women and children. But we gotta forget about our past, right? We're not forgetting the past. We're letting go of our future. That's what we're doing. Brother, read the last part of that right quick. We're going to get up off of that.
Come. And shall no more cover her slain.
Read the half part. Matter of fact, read it over again. Read it over again. There's something in there I won't touch on. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 21.
Right.
For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity.
There's a punishment going on from the Most High. Go ahead.
The earth also shall disclose her blood.
The earth shall disclose her blood. That's why them bones coming up, man. Sinking up from out of that ground, man. Telling of the iniquity and the murder done by these people, man. They can't escape it. They can't escape it. See, right now they're proud of it, but that's going to change. Right now they are proud of it. Their pride lies in their culture and in their society and how they got it. They got it through violence and the threat of violence. Why would a slave work for you and stay on your damn plantation? He's there under the threat of death. He's not there because there was a contract or a mutual understanding. We were there under the threat of death, brother. Under the threat of violence. And under the action of violence. Because you can't just threaten your violence without a show of it. Every subsequent generation has to see your power. The power that they kept this country together with was violence. My brother. Let's get that. Let's, matter of fact, let's go to Obadiah. Give me Obadiah 1 and 3. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rocking. Before we get this other video I want to show you. You want to see a modern day lynching? I'll show you a modern day lynching. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's fine because that's going on. And people are surprised because when I look down in the comments, black people say, in 2020, they've been lynching black folks since the inception of the country. It is the culture. It's how they survive. Right. That's why they're bringing the nooses down to the state building to protest. Negro, can you walk into any state government building in the United States of America with a long rifle draped over your shoulder? Right. Can you do that? No. You ain't something?
Come on. I just want to chime in. I was just looking at that video. It just took me back to the Black Panthers tried that. They got arrested. And they were just fighting for rights. Now these, you know what I mean, these Edomites are fighting for different type of rights. They just want to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? They get benefits, you know what I mean? They ain't get treated dirty.
They want their businesses back. They workers, they slaves back.
And they going in there with all the hate, showing all the hate. And they still free. I just wanted to say that, sir.
Yes, sir. Like they went in there to fight for what happened to that brother that got mauled down, rolled down, and murdered and lynched a few days ago. What was his name? Ahmad? Let me try to get his name. The brother was mauled down and killed. They were fighting for the right to do that. That's their freedom to exploit and murder you. Nobody went to jail for this.
Right.
This was a clear execution. A clear execution, clear as day. Nobody went to jail for it and nobody's going to go to jail for it. Because that is their culture. And the Lord is showing it to us. He's showing it to us, man. But we so in a hurry to buy some goddamn Jordans. To restart this economy and to go right back into the oppressive slavery that we were in, man. What more can the Lord do? What more can he show us? We should be falling on our knees, thanking the Lord every day for what he just showed us with this coronavirus, man. That's in the Bible too. It's crazy, man. Let me give me Obadiah 1 and 3. Let me get Obadiah 1 and 3. And Dred Scott. God damn it, that's who I was talking about. The Dred Scott decision. Look up Dred Scott. Dred Scott was a slave that his master had him going into different free states. And he thought that when he was in the free state so long and seeing black folks that were not tied into chattel slavery, that he thought he should be free because he was living in a free state. But the judge ultimately ruled that there is no rights that a black man has that a white man is endowed to follow. You have no rights that a white man has to follow. That is still a court case that is on the books as a part of the Supreme Court and law today. It's never been taken off. They do not have to respect your rights for nothing, and they don't. That's why the laws are different for them as they are for you, which is why ordinary citizens, white citizens, can follow you in a pickup truck and murder you absent cause. They can follow you, call 911, 911 tell them, what did they do? Don't follow them, what did they do? You ain't got to say nothing. You can keep following, stop, and say, you got to answer my question. I want to answer, you need to answer my question with shotguns and handguns. Chasing like you're the actual police. And then murdering. This all started with the patty rollers. The patty rollers were deputized citizens that were in the middle of plantations, that were deputized to watch the slaves as they went from plantation to plantation. And a lot of times these patty rollers were so violent that they would murder absent cause. They would say the slave was trying to escape when there was no evidence of it, they just murdered him. Because that's a part of the culture, to run down and to murder and to cause stress in us. That's terrorism. We've been terrorized for the past 400 years, which is what they just did to this young man, showing us that they can murder us anytime they want to, that the law favors them. They have the right to make a citizen's arrest, and if you resist, they can murder you. No one's been arrested for this crime. What's the young man's name?
Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. They murdered this young man, 25 years old, going out for a job. Had no adult record at all, no reason to go do it. They said he was looking in an abandoned house. This was enough reason for them to make a citizen's arrest. And when they was trying to make a citizen's arrest, he tried to grab one of their shotguns and they murdered him. As black people, we know that he was fighting for his life. White people, in their mind, say that no, he was being unruly. He was being ignorant. He should have just stopped and answered their question. This is ordinary citizens, man. There's no evidence that this young man did anything. They murdered him. That's their culture. The culture of violence. You got that in Obadiah?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Read on.
Though that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock.
Can you read it again?
Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock.
Thou that dwelleth in the cliff of the rock. So we know that this is talking about our oppressor that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rocks. He dwelleth up high in high places, in skyscrapers, on the damn moon, and in space stations. He dwelleth in the high places. It's talking about our oppressor. The pride of his heart. He has so much pride that he can go in a state building, break in a state building which is against the law, armed, and say, we want our slaves back, with a noose, threatening violence. That's how prideful he is. And you know what? Donald Trump and the government of America are afraid of them. Why? Because they know that they'll murder. They will murder. They have no problem with violence. None. The most violent people in America are by far the oppressor because he's done more violence in America than anyone else. They walked into a government facility basically staging a coup, and nobody did a damn thing about it. Threatening to murder black people with nooses. Saying open the economy so black people can work and go shop and work their goddamn fingers to the bone for us. Right. So that we can grow our businesses and our society and they can die in it. And they do it with pride. They have pride in their culture, their Confederate flags, the swastikas. All of this is white power. All of this is powerful. Is rooted in violence and the action of violence. Read on.
Whose habitation is high?
His habitation is up high. So high that nobody can bring him down. That's his pride. Read.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
In his heart. In his heart. Nobody can stop him, not even his own government, for just a little while to save his life. No. His freedom, his property must be given, right. Or it will be taken. Read on out.
Thou, verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Exalt thyself as the eagle, the predator. The predator that comes on high. That strikes and kills. That exerts violence whenever he wants. He's hungry, he wants, he kills. He pulls out his weapons, his talons, his AR-15s. His claws, his bombs, his grenades, his long guns, his pistols, his hollow points. His weapons are his culture. His violence is his life. Read on.
Come. And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Good night. Set thy nest on the stars. He even got weapons up in the stars. Missiles to kill and destroy at the drop of a dime. Because this is the oppressor, man. This is who this is talking about. His pride. The infallibility of his pride. He thinks he can't be conquered. He thinks that God looks like him, that God is with him, even though he's the most evil thing on the face of the earth. Good. Now, any calls, anything? I really want to get that video. Look up that video of that brother Ahmad and try to get that video where he was murdered. Oh, just Google it. Look it up on Google real quick.
Okay.
Let me give you a second to look it up on Google. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, people. Grab this real quick. Try to look that up real quick.
on, come,
Something. That's what's up. Play that video.
come.
Play that video, news story, whatever it is. Play it up.
Bunch of pop-ups.
Say again.
Got a bunch of pop-ups.
Muad Aubrey was the jogger's name.
It was Muad, like, said Muad.
AHMUAD. Muad, right.
Yeah, right. You tried it on YouTube, you must have took down.
No, don't go to YouTube. Just do a search on Google real quick. See what you got. You should be able to get that real quick. Yeah, Muad Aubrey. You should get that. Look. Anybody got a question, want to do some interaction, man, call in. Call in real quick. Don't be ashamed. We ain't want to put it to you. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? Ask your questions, your biblical questions, anything you want to ask, man. This is a turbulent time, man. Why are brothers in line packed like sardines to buy some Jordan sneakers, man? Like, these are the questions that everybody should be asking of the ISUPK, because we got the answers, brother. We got all the answers to it. And look, give us a call, 720-835-5244, 61189 man. It's right at the bottom of this live video, man. You understand? Let's get it going, man. Let's get it in. Look.
I got it, son.
You got that video, brother?
Come.
All right, go ahead and play it. Now let's watch a modern day lynching. Watch a lynching, a modern day lynching, man. Disgusting, man. Absolutely disgusting. And everybody will be prepared for this if they listen to Commanding General Yohana, who years ago said that the oppressors was going to get in their pickup trucks with their shotguns and their long guns and go murder us, man. This is a lynching, a modern day lynching. Took the life of an innocent brother. And we can't even begin to understand the ramifications of this, man. This brother was murdered in broad daylight. Any of us. Like, we cannot be alone with this people, man. Because they will murder us and say that we did something to them. We tried to rob them. We know it was an execution, but we can't get justice, man. We can't get justice in this place. You know why? Because it's going to be 12 white people on that jury, if we ever get to a jury.
Oh, God.
They supposed to be doing a grand jury inquiry, but you know what? It's a pandemic going on, so they can't really get it done. And we can't really lock the guys up, because we don't know if they're guilty, and they have a right to this, that, and the third. What did that brother have a right to?
Right.
Nothing. That's what we need to understand. That's the point. That's the point. Damn, it's a hard thing being in the truth, and I explain it to you like this. When you are a person that understands what's happening in society, and because I haven't been in the truth that long, but half a decade, I still remember and understand the ways that I used to think. This was before I had the falling away that it talks about in the Bible. That you must have a falling away first. That falling away that have not happened to brothers keeps us in a cloud of not understanding what the hell is happening here. That was a modern day lynching, a murder. Why? For terrorism, brother. Violence. It's how they keep their power. It's how they fine-tune their power. Even though they may say, well, we're sorry. We didn't mean to kill him. The message that was sent from this execution goes out to the psyche of black people saying this: we will murder you any goddamn time we want to, at a will. And that's how they've kept us in line and being their slaves for the past 400 years. Violence and the threat of violence. They feel it is their right to murder us and gun us down in this way. You got a problem with it? Give me a call, man. The number's right at the bottom. Check that Uber conference, brother. Another square pop up there, and you can unmute them if that pops up. Or show up. Just keep an eye on that. If anybody types in any questions or anything, keep that up. But let's get back to Obadiah. Let's get back to Obadiah. Obadiah explains it all, man. Obadiah explains the pride of this animal, his culture and his society. Come on, let's get that Obadiah, brother. Where was you at? Obadiah 1 and 4, I think.
Come on, last line. We started over.
What you on 4?
Yep, I'm on 4.
All right, go ahead, read 4 again.
Come on. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down.
This will I bring thee down. So the Most High is saying, this gonna happen in my time and according to my will. In the ISUPK, we prostrate ourselves to the Lord and his will. It's out of our hands. It's out of my hands. Look, check this out. I'm not going to no store. I don't give a damn if they open or don't open. I'm in survival mode. My brothers are in survival mode, and we gonna survive in this thing, man. Right. We ain't going out buying no Jordans, man. You gonna take your stimulus check and go buy a pair of Jordans. Come on, man. Like that's too ridiculous to even deal with. Right. Skip down to 8, brother. To verse 8. Give me that.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
Even destroy the wise men out of Edom. There is an idiot in the White House right now. The actual intelligence of the oppressor has fallen about 89 ticks, goddammit. You got a president in the White House right now that said we can flood the body with ultraviolet rays. We can get the rays in the body and treat the virus. We can sanitize the body. With Purell. I guess you can shoot up the Purell, right. you understand, and get a reaction from the coronavirus. I don't know. But this was not a sarcastic comment. This was the actual logic of an American president. It was not a joke. It was not sarcastic to throw off the newscasters. No. This is the intelligence that the Lord gave these people to get to the moon, to create centrifuge weapons and nuclear weapons and arsenals unlike anything the earth ever seen. The Lord gave them that knowledge, and then they put him in the White House. Read it again.
Verse 8, shall I not in that day say, the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
Even destroy the wise men out of Edom. Like they can't even have enough intelligence and fortitude not to tell the slaves that they're slaves. Like that has been the foregone goddamn knowledge of Esau is to deceive the slaves into believing that they are equal citizens or could fight towards some type of equality. This is something that Esau has been putting into motion for years. Because to say that you can obtain some type of equality and point to these black people who have gotten rich as an example of this, then hey, you can push the blame off of yourself and back onto those people, which is what the plan that Esau has been doing for years. Then came this idiot. He can't stop. He can't help himself. The pride inside of him says the lion should not care what the lamb thinks. But what this idiot don't understand is that we are the lions. Whenever we are in line with the Most High. Right. So to wake us up is not a good thing, Donald Trump. You want to keep the 12 tribes asleep. But he's so prideful to a fault. The Lord has removed the wisdom out of Esau, brother. And that's given us something that we never had before. To be able to see what this thing is really about. Read on.
And understanding out of the mount of Esau.
So he's digging all the way into their culture and their society and bringing it out, and he's sticking it and putting it in front of our face, man. Modern day lynching. Marching on the White House, marching on Capitol and State buildings saying, we're going to kill and murder the slaves. This is real. What more can the Most High do to convince us? Read on.
Verse 9. And the mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off.
The mighty men shall be dismayed to the end. Look, you don't know, nobody knows the state of the American Navy. Come on, man. The American naval commander had to be removed from his position because he said, I can no longer put my men in danger because they're dying on this ship of the coronavirus. And this was a wartime nuclear-enabled vessel. One of the top vessels of the United States. So now, we do not know the state of the naval power of America, which was the power. These people have submarines that they can send a Tomahawk missile from a submarine submerged in 100 yards of water, man, and send a Tomahawk missile to destroy your house. 100 miles off land. This is the naval power of America that has nuclear weapons on submarines, on ships. Not only nuclear weapons, but these aircraft carriers and battleships have a nuclear core that needs to be changed every 100 or so years, brother. They've been weakened, and nobody knows the state of these ships because they will no longer post the state of these ships because it shows their enemies how weakened they've actually become. These ships are a petri dish, and that petri dish is going all through the officers and commanders, getting them all sick on a nuclear-enabled warship. His kingdom, his society, his culture is vulnerable. Right now it's vulnerable. And we should not help to build it up. We should just stay out the goddamn way like the Lord said. Read on.
Come. Verse 9, from the top, and thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Look, he's going to cut all of them off by slaughter. Because they're going to be weakened so much that they ain't even going to be able to defend themselves. And there's a reason for all of this. Read on.
Come. Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Damn, read that again.
For thy violence against thy brother.
For thy violence against Jacob. For their violence. When they first went into Israel and they stood there and put us in slavery and raped us and murdered us, put us in chains, put us through stress, put us in the arena, let us get killed and chopped to pieces, and went through so much terrorism of seeing our people, the limbs chopped off, the lips and the tongues chopped out, and the damn genitals cut off. That's terrorism. And then they came back in the earth again. They were the Romans and the Greeks, and they came back in the earth again as the Englishmen and the Americans and the French and the Spanish. And they murdered and destroyed their way all the way to modern times. Keep reading.
Come. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
Shame shall cover thee. They have no shame, right? Look, this dummy is in the White House right now talking about these are good people. These are good people that marched on them Capitol buildings with AR-16. So now in the mind of that oppressor, we did the right thing. And we should keep fighting for our rights. The Lord is amazing. How a country that had such leaders that was so dedicated to the destruction of black people, the exploitation of black people, and so dedicated to the plan of raising white supremacy. Because remember, in order for white supremacy to take over places like Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Venezuela, people got to deal with you thinking that you are the light, you are the good guy. And America has pushed forth that face, which is the reason why they put Barack Obama in there, so they could once again exploit the resources of Africa. And they achieved that. But then this guy came completely against everything that America had been building. He's so prideful, he's against even the lie that says that everybody can be included. Read on, brother.
Come. Verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side.
Good night. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side. What does that mean, man? In the day, in the calamity of this people, in the death and the suffering of this people, whether it be back in Rome or Greece, whether it be in the Americas, whether it be in a detox facility in Baltimore or New York, when you stood there and allowed the exploitation of black people, allowed the suffering, allowed black people to go into projects where it was flooded with dope and despair, when you stood by the way, when you stood in your place and you watched the destruction of the Lord's people. Read on.
In the day that the strangers carried away captives.
In the day that the strangers carried away captives. How you allowed the Chinese, the Koreans, the Arabs, and everybody else to come into Old Town Market, Mondawmin Mall, coming to Pennsylvania Street Market and malls and shops. How you allowed them to take over the businesses and make rich lives for themselves while black people died and suffered in the ghetto and became essential workers at hospitals, because that's the only thing that we could do was be a nurse and clean up somebody's behind, man, somebody's excrement, and to take pride in it. So much so, where everybody in the country had to acknowledge it and send airplanes over to goddamn show these nurses and these doctors some goddamn appreciation, man. I really didn't mean to say doctors, but these nurses and these caregivers who are at the front lines, man, who don't have enough masks, don't have any protection for real, but out there with a heartfelt desire to help people. Right. That's not something that the oppressor has. It's a black woman, man, that I saw on the news that puts daffodils on the body of every person killed by COVID-19. Mm. She takes and spends her own money and time to do that, to give them some humanity, because America will not. Read on, brother.
Come. And foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even thou wast as one of them.
These other nations cast lots for our people, put down money, you understand? Bought it for price for our people to put them in slavery, to use them as sex slaves. I'm going to barter for the prettiest black woman, so I can first use her as an animal, as something base that I can insert myself in and release myself in. God damn. So read on, brother.
Come, verse 12.
Go ahead.
But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he...
You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have looked upon us with glee as we was going into slavery and dying and suffering. Salah. Go ahead, brother.
Come. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger.
In the day that he became a stranger. This slavery, this slavery has done something unintended to us, brother. It's destroyed our natural inclination, our natural ability to come together, our social cohesiveness, our ability to love each other unconditionally, man. This slavery has been such a harsh thing to us, man. You can't understand it until you come in the truth. You know, so I can't explain it right. I can't get it right. Salaki. I can't. Damn, man. Damn. I wish I could, but I can't. All right. Where we at with Obadiah?
On verse 12.
You gotta hurry up with that. Go ahead to 13.
Come. Verse 13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
Damn, man. Damn. Why so much dope is flowing into black communities? Look, the beef industry has choked up. The conveyor belt has stopped. That's why the prices of beef is going up. Why the dope ain't stop? Why the dope ain't stop? You know what it takes for one city, Detroit? And I looked this up in the statistics, man. Detroit alone, and we talking about heroin alone, devours a little less than 100 tons of heroin in less than a week. You know how much that is? Let's look at 100 tons. God damn, that would fill up probably half this room.
Okay.
How can black people be doing this to black people when we don't own any transportation, warehousing businesses that could in any way be dealing with this large capacity of business and keeping it going in a pandemic?
Right.
When you have heightened securities at the borders, we know it's not grown here. It's me. I'm the idiot. It's me. It gotta be me. It must be. It got to be me. It must be something I'm not seeing because that dope hasn't stopped. There's open air drug markets in Baltimore that have never stopped running, balling, and rolling. And I ain't never heard since this pandemic began of any shortage of any dope in any area in any city in the black community. Somebody call up and tell me if I'm wrong. Please tell me if I'm wrong. Why is that the case? How, with heightened security, can you still be rolling at that level of capacity with heroin? You got to keep it rolling because you don't want people to get off of heroin. Because if people get off of heroin, then they're going to start thinking. And if they start thinking, it's a lie. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a lie. I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, man. Let's go here with Obadiah.
Come. We on,
Where we at? Any phone calls? Any questions? Anything?
live.
Check that phone.
I'm on it now. There's nothing on.
You know, anybody want to call in, let us know, man. It was, you know, give us a call, 720-835-5244, pin number 61189. That's what's up. All right, you got something else with Obadiah? Where you at?
We finished 13.
Finished 13. Give me 14.
Come. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 14. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
Look, you sat in the crossways and cut off those that did escape, man. A black baby can't even be born in America, man, without you trying to kill it. A black baby can't be born in America without you targeting it, saying that the black woman should have an education and be able to support herself before she can have that baby. God damn. Read it again.
Okay. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
Neither should thou have stood in the crossways. Like this oppressor stands in every way to thwart our ability to grow this nation. Whether it's abortion, whether it's murder, whether it's any goddamn thing, they stand in the way. Is that something? That's a call?
Come.
All right, let that call through.
Just click on it, right?
Who is it? Start over again. Who's calling? What's your name? What's your question?
It's Washington Zone, Washington 202-352-3868.
Hello?
What's your name? Where you calling from, sis?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Salaki, say it again. You gotta speak up, sis.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore, Maryland. What's your name, sis?
Anaya,
you got a question or comment for the priest-sister? Salaki, for the priest-sister.
Hello,
can you hear me?
I'm going to take over for my daughter. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, shalom, sister. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
You had a question or comment?
I guess my question was, it was in regards to the jogger. It was in regards to the jogger.
Okay. Go ahead.
When I was watching the news today,
Okay, the question, the sister's talking about the jogger, and she was talking to the news today. The sister breaking up a little bit. Sister, go ahead and get your question out. What's your question again, sis?
well, they try to justify stating that the men who shot the man didn't have a precious bone in their body.
Right, of course. Right, of course they're going to say that, sis, because this is the thing. We have to understand that the very first characteristics of Esau is deception and lies. To say that he doesn't have a prejudiced bone in his body, meaning that he did not do anything wrong to this black kid. This black kid attacked him.
Right.
And he did not have a prejudiced bone in his body, meaning he was not biased at all. And white people take white people's word for it. But we know that these people are liars. And I'm sure that it's something we can find in his past and in his future to show that this man does have a prejudiced bone in his body, because he ran down this young black man and he murdered him in broad daylight. And he didn't turn over the video to the family. He wasn't candid to the family. He did not do what was right by the family, and he doesn't even talk about it anymore because he's under investigation. This is a criminal, and a criminal mind is at work, and he's a liar when he says there's not a prejudiced bone in his body. But do you need a precept to prove that, sis?
No, that's I think that's it. It's just like how they always trying to justify their.
Yeah, no.
Oh, come.
You heard her, sir? Said she wanted to make that comment about how they always trying to justify.
Oh, okay, for them trying to justify. And also, sis, they did this too. They went back in his police record to a misdemeanor that he had as a young man in high school, a shoplifting. This was a shoplifting charge. All right? He got probation before judgment that, you know, a lot of white people have this, and they said that because he got that charge, this was a reason for them to murder him because he had criminal inclinations. And they do that, they try to do that with Trayvon Martin and saying he was suspended from school, so he was a bad kid, even though he didn't have a police record or a violent record. This guy doesn't have a violent record. But they're trying to say, but because he had this altercation with police and he may have stolen something from the store, that he's a thief and could steal things. You understand? This is what I need you to do, priest. Alazar, do this for me, brother. Wait, just open that top for me. Do this for me, brother. Look up FBI files 67 on Google. FBI file 67. And then get me the statistics by race of who steals the most. This might surprise you, Israel. FBI, matter of fact, FBI crime table 67. Punch that in and zoom it up on the screen. Select. FBI crime table 67.
Alright, they got dates to do.
I think it's a PDF or something you just gotta click on. I think it's 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
I got one with other dates.
Just do the latest one, Just do the latest one. Let's do the latest one. You should be able to open that joint up. FBI crime table 67.
You said look up theft.
Say again.
You said look up theft.
Burglary, stolen property.
It's all lined up. I mean, switch it over to the screen.
Yeah. So you can see who the hell is the real criminal. And you can see that as far as stolen property, burglaries, they far outweigh black people and the way they criminalize this country, man. These people are not patriotic. They want to take, they want to murder, they want to do whatever violence they need to do to take control of this country and make for damn sure that they are the only ones making profit here. And you can look at these crime tables. It's supposed to be black people that are supposed to be the criminals of America, the ones to blame. These people outweigh us in every goddamn crime. Right. And if you look at stolen property, what they blame this brother for, and said because he did something in high school, which we don't even know if he's guilty of, because he had an altercation in high school, he could have been stealing and looking into houses and burglarizing and something, which is a damn lie. You got that on the board?
The stolen property.
Stolen. Try to look down the stolen property and tell me what that is. I'm gonna try to see it.
Let me. All right. So white is the second block, because when you go down you can't see it. So white is the second block, and black or African American is the third block. So I'm gonna scroll down so you can see right here. Stolen property. That second number, that's white people.
What's that number?
21,779.
21,779. What is the number for black people?
10,000.
10,000. So that's less than half.
Oh, God.
That's less than half. These people steal. They steal property. Don't let me get into rape and murder, sedition, Ponzi schemes. This is the criminal of the earth, brother. You can go in to FBI crime table 67 and see exactly what the hell they're doing. But this is the problem you're gonna run into, especially with murder statistics, that all the people that white people murder, all the black people that white people murder are not listed there. because they're found innocent by their peers. Whenever a white person murders a black person in their county, black and white people in that county understand that this is their culture and they should be allowed to murder black people. If white people are not allowed to murder and terrorize black people in their own neighborhoods, what the hell are they gonna do? Hell they gonna do, man? They got to maintain control. Shalakia, give me a time check.
8:47.
All right, I'm gonna get one more. I really want to stay in Obadiah, but give me Zechariah 1:15, man. We're gonna end it up with that. If I can get anybody to call in or anybody that I was supposed to send Salaki General, I was supposed to send the General Shalimar so he could come in, man. I forgot the dang. Hold on.
The water, sir.
You're on the ball, sister. Thank you for calling.
Who that on the line?
That's the sister that just called in from Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Ask her, did she get everything answered? All right, I'm gonna send this link to the general if he wants to.
Like you said Zechariah
1:15. Let me see. If you want to call in, 720-835-5244. The PIN number 61189. If you want to call in, get your questions answered, or if you just want to type them in to the joint, please do so.
I got joined back in.
Say again.
I got joined back in. I was trying to hang up on the last call.
Oh, you hung up on the whole thing?
Go on, cuz.
Okay, no sweat. Just put a hold on the music that's coming.
Go on, cuz.
Yeah, no sweat. Let's get to that Zechariah. Let's get that last bit and we're gonna end the class if nobody ain't got nothing else. Come on, let's get to that Zechariah 1:15.
This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15. And I am very sore, displeased with the heathen that are
very sore and displeased with the heathen. This is the Most High, man. And this is this oppressor that has been furthering our affliction. All right? This has gone beyond oppression, man. This has gone beyond oppression. Look, oppression is murder, rape. And, that's a definite oppression. What they've done, this brainwashing that they've done to black folks, man, this putting a bag over the head of a black son to make him have sex with his mother. This is atrocious what this heathen has done to us, man. And the Lord has saw all of that murder, that barbarism. all of the devices that they've thought up to keep us destroyed in, all of the iniquity that they've pushed us towards. Iniquity, man, sin is eating something that the Lord said for you not to eat. But if you poor, and there's certain people have put piglings out there for you to eat and nothing else, and you are the slave, well, goddamn. Your choices are limited, aren't they? When your oppressor puts dope in your community and removes all the jobs, your choices are limited, aren't they? Can you have some? Can you have some? Can you have something in your heart for your brother? Can you have some? God damn! Can you have some empathy in your heart for your brother? Because you know he going through the same oppression you went through. Can you have a little bit for your father? He left. Is it a crime to save yourself from oppression? He left because this black woman was oppressing him along with the goddamn society. Is it wrong? How strong do you gotta be in this society to be a black man? How strong you need to be? Can you fail? You got something, man?
Come on.
All right, go ahead.
We got a news break that came to my phone said the 2 men involved in the fatal shooting, Omar Arbery, have been arrested.
Say again, man.
It said the 2 men involved in the shooting of the brother, they've been arrested.
Okay, so they're saying that the 2 white men that were involved with shooting the brother, following him, mowing him down in the actual modern day lynching story, that they arrested them.
Come.
Can you imagine black people being elated by that? Ramon, tell me why you not elated because they locked them up.
And this shooting happened in February.
Kill.
If we do anything, we can steal something out of Walmart. They had our front door that night. Like it don't make no sense for them to wait 3 months before they even issue warrants to arrest these murderers.
Good. So you see deception there.
Come, sir.
Why do you see deception there, Ramon?
Because they just doing it because they protest at the people's house, the quiet public.
No, it's a bigger reason. You're misunderstanding. Why do you see deception there that most black people don't see? Because you know the truth, brother.
That's right.
You know the truth. And you know from the beginning that everything they said was a lie. And that this brother was murdered. And they did that murder of their own fruition. This was not something that he caused. He was out just taking a job. And you know what the hell happened, right, Ramon? But the brothers and sisters that have not having or fallen away, they don't understand. They actually take in consideration what this beast is talking about. This man who ran him down. Why would you run down another American citizen, why wouldn't you just call the police if he was doing something wrong, give him the description, and allow the police to take care of it? Why would you pull up next to him in a pickup truck, have another pickup truck cut him off with shotguns to confront him? Why would you do that, Ramah?
Because that's my right as an American citizen. Like to do things like that. That's the only thing that separates me from the slaves.
Now, you said that is their right as an American citizen. Am I quoting you correctly? You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. They feel in their heart, in their minds, that it is their right as a white, full-blooded American that they can murder black people at a will. Why? Because they are available for exploitation. They have built the society as it is a part of the culture to exploit and to murder these people. That is a part of their entire society. You a smart man, Ramah. And with that, where we at? 8:51. Any calls, any questions, anything like that? Because I'm ready to get up out of here. Y'all Negroes ain't called. Y'all Negroes, fine. That's fine. You stay in darkness. I'm going to turn the class over to my man, priest, and officer Al-Azhar. With that, I'm out.
These are security announcements. Got an Isupkbmore out of 1 West 125th Street under Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tights, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, and is pronounced Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, we're still waiting on word to hear about the Passover. Just stay tuned, just keep watching the grill. Watch out for Commander General Yohana updates, coronavirus updates. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we'll get one praise salute to the teacher, then Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah.
And with that, class dismissed.
Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't they tell how I'm sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with his